came round and showed my friend Kate what to do on my feet. She said, "You've got crunchy sinuses." And I was so impressed because I had really bad sinusitis. She didn't know anything about me, she didn't know any of my history, but she touched my toes and she knew that my sinuses weren't right. And it took me about another 10 years until I got round to seeing a reflexologist regularly, and she fixed my sinusitis. And I'd had surgery, I'd had antibiotics, I'd had x-rays, and nothing worked apart from reflexology. And that got me into, eventually at some point, okay, this is what I want to do. I don't want to be doing, I'd moved out of medicine, I didn't qualify, I went into medical publishing, but I wanted to do something that worked with people. Publishing is great, and I still do some of that, but you're sitting at home a lot of the time, you're working for yourself, you don't see people, you're at a desk, you can sit at a desk for a whole week, and you might not speak to anybody but the husband, or if I'm busy, I just realise I've only been as far as the front gate, put the bin out, and that's it. Yes, I don't know why this is blue. That was just going to be a picture of me and my friend Kate, a bit of a silly picture, and I had a couple of the class that I trained with. I eventually got round to going to training for reflexology. I trained at the London School of Reflexology with Louise Keat. And the first weekend that I was there, that first afternoon when we got hands on feet, I thought this is what I was meant to do. Why didn't I do this before? And it was brilliant. And I've only been trained 3 years now, but I just love it. And the more I learn, the more I realise that there's more to learn, and the little I know, how little I do know. But what I wanted to talk to you a wee bit about is a couple of things that I've learned since I trained, CPD courses that I've done. And I know some of you have done maternity and fertility courses. Is there people here that would like to but haven't, or feel not confident? Because I did a maternity and fertility course. I wasn't on my top of a must-do list, but a friend taught me into it. And I've got a little book that I'm going to pass around, which is my favourite one. It's from the AOR, Association of Reflexologists in the UK, and it was written by the tutor that trained me. And the thing about maternity reflexology that I found is that really it's no different most of the time to treating anybody else. If you've got a pregnant lady that's already pregnant coming to you, she's coming to you probably because she's stressed, maybe anxious, she might have backache, she might have indigestion or constipation. So you're not treating pregnancy, you're just treating those illnesses. And it's not something to be particularly scared about. I've seen posts sometimes where people say, you know, I was told not to treat in the first trimester, I was told not to treat in pregnancy, I was told to avoid this and that and the other. I don't tend to treat the reproductive areas, or if I do, it's very, very gentle. The back of here, there's some linking moves that just hormone balancing, and I do that really, really gently if somebody's pregnant. But on the whole, with pregnancy, if somebody is pregnant and they're well, generally well, you can just treat anybody. I'll pass this book round because it's really nice. Just have a quick little look. You can treat anybody like you would treat a normal client, and I think that's the thing that we forget. Pregnancy isn't an illness. People who are pregnant might have symptoms, but that's just like anybody else. So I just encourage anybody who is interested in, just maybe feeling a little bit cautious about pregnancy, just to, give it a go. Start off with somebody who's got a healthy, happy pregnancy. See if you can find somebody, a friend of or someone that you know, and get your confidence up, because you don't have to do a special course. I don't believe you have to do a special course. The courses are good, they're great, and I love the one I did, but you can just use your intuition and use the skills you've already got to work on whatever that person has. And it's the same with fertility. I do some work fertility